collection has a start which started in 1951, and this is really amazing history of this whole collection of the Brazilian constructive art. Because in 1951, Max Bill realized his first retrospective in Sao Paulo in the MASP, and this was a new museum, and I think it was the third or the second exhibition with an artist coming from Europe, and he found a young artistic scene there, and many artists were very influenced of him. So this was a bit the first step on the way to this exhibition. And the second step was that Max Bill realized in 1960 an amazing show in Zurich at the Haus. And for this exhibition, he invited over 100 artists and over 25 artists from Latin America. And it's amazing because in this collection of Adolpho Leirner, we can see 17 positions of this exhibition of 1960 at Haus. So, and the next step was that I met Betty Leirner, and she told me, or she made me familiar with the collection of her father. And when I started at Haus Constructive 2005, I immediately started the contact again with Betty Leirner, and then we decided to create this collaboration with the Museum of Fine Arts. This exhibition is so important for us because it corrects a bit. This exhibition corrects a bit the thinking of art history, of Western art history, because we can see how the influences of the modernism or of Europe created a very specific and a very unique style of concrete and constructive art in Brazil. And on the other hand, it's totally connected with Zürich because there was a deep friendship between Zürich, between Max Bill and Brazilian artists. And this is the reason that we are very, very proud to have this collection at Haus Constructive, because we're always interested in creating dialogues between different generations, and this is the reason that we show simultaneously the exhibition of Rita Ernst. So I think this combination between a younger artist and this historical, very important collection shows that the echo space of the subjects of the concrete and constructive art creates new patterns, new layers, new interests also for a younger generation.
Tonight we are inaugurating the exhibition Dimensions of Constructive Art, the Adolpho Leirner Collection at the Haus Constructive. This is a very, very special moment for Brazilian art. We are showing approximately 100 paintings, constructions, works on paper, posters, produced by approximately 56 artists from Brazil in the 1950s and 60s. This is a very important period in the history of Brazilian art, as well as in the history of international modernism. I would say that it's really one of the most important enclaves of utopian avant-garde activity in the Western Hemisphere in the post-war period. This is a moment when there was a big economic boom in Brazil. There was a project of modernization of Brazilian society, and artists were eager to really become part of the international world of art. the presence of Max Bill in Brazil in the late 40s and early 50s was instrumental as a catalyst for some of these movements to consolidate. But there was in Brazil, one could argue, already a number of artists who were looking to express themselves in geometric and constructive forms of abstraction. So the presence of Max Bill really was like a catalyst, for these movements to come together and to consolidate themselves. What resulted was really a very brilliant chapter in the history of modernism that really produced many unprecedented forms of art that were based on the assimilation of principles of the constructive movements in Europe. But at the same time, these tendencies, these influences were assimilated by the artists. They were transformed into unprecedented proposals, such as what we see in the work of the artist Lygia Clark with her bichos, which are these articulated structures that are concrete in a way, but at the same time require the participation of the viewer to really become complete as a work of art. So in many ways, many of these Brazilian artists, the most radical ones, took some of the principles of constructive and concrete art, and they took them into the space of the viewer. They tried to create a relationship between the viewer and the concrete art object. And it's in that space in between where a new form of art is born. These movements, the groups and the artists who formed this movement are only now being recognized in the international mainstream. And this is largely the result of the work done by the collector Adolpho Leirner.